Man, tough times, man, for Anthony Joshua. Tragic situation. A lot of y'all already heard. Shout out to everybody in UGC, the ones catching the playback. Black Horseman here. I just want to get my thoughts, man. It's unfortunate this bad car accident that Anthony Joshua was involved in. Barely escaped death. Um, According to reports, Anthony Joshua and the driver survived, but the passenger and then the person sitting behind the passenger, um, was they died at the scene. I haven't seen any images of the two people that died at the scene. I haven't seen no images of them at the car scene. I'm only seeing footage and images of Anthony Joshua, getting out of the wrecked vehicle to get into a police vehicle so that he can be taken to, I'm sure, the nearest ER or something like that, nearest hospital to get treatment. But it's unfortunate, man, that two people lost their lives. Um, and this was off of Anthony Joshua's, you know, high moment off of defeating Jake Paul, where Jake Paul was knocked out for the first time in his career. Um, and I just had some questions about it. When I was watching that fight, I was more of like, man, is this really a real fight? And when I seen Jake Paul come out with the Hulk Hogan uniform and stuff, I automatically thought like, oh, this is gonna be some WWE stuff. Like this is a sign to everybody that this is gonna be scripted. This ain't gonna be what you think it is. And it went 6 rounds. It looked like AJ was pulling a lot of those punches. He didn't really want to hurt Jake Paul. It seemed like he was carrying him. But then the question came to my mind was, did AJ not stick to script? Because I don't know how these contract situations are, and if they break these contracts, if there's consequences, I don't know. But I don't know if he was supposed to knock out Jake Paul like that. Um, Jake looked shocked as shit. Whereas you will be shocked if you've been hit harder than you ever been hit before. But you know, a lot of people were very very upset by the result of the event. I don't know if it was real or not, but I saw footage of Logan Paul. Whether it was an act or real, he was trying to take AJ's chain off of him after he knocked out his brother. He was trying to sneakily take off this man's chain. He was like, "Hey, hey, my chain, my chain." And then the team realized it was Logan Paul trying to snatch chains and shit. And so, um, it could have been a little joke, a little jokey joke, because they troll and stuff like that. But it's interesting, man. I was one of the late people to come across this movie that they called Him. You know, uh, I watched it just this past weekend. It actually, right before this happened. 2 days before this accident occurred with AJ, and it was just strange to see, or interesting to see, how the NFL was exposed. They kind of got that dark shadow cast upon them, like we've seen the music industry and the Hollywood industry. Whereas they talk about sacrifices and being willing to give up people closest to you to go to another level. You got to you got to want it. And without giving the movie away, the movie's kind of crazy. A whole lot of partying going on, whole lot of drugs, whole lot of as Corey Holcomb would say, a lot of backdooria stuff going on, trannies, all that type of energy was involved in that movie, Him. And it was really all about, can you become that full animal to be considered a goat? But I want to say this, I think that there is a certain class of people that are more concerned about fame than they are money. Money is a big focal point of a lot of these individuals. But you'll realize that a lot of these individuals, they'll become rich, and then Josiah, what's up, homie? Just you'll notice a lot of these quote unquote athletes or celebrities, actors, or whatever they are, they'll become rich, but it doesn't seem to become enough. Seems like there's still something that they're still trying to accomplish. For the ordinary person, hey man, if you touch some millions of dollars, they feel like they've made it. They feel like they are on top of the world and that they don't need nothing else. They don't need to get acknowledged for it. They don't need, you know what I mean? They're okay and content with just getting out of the ghetto and making it to a level where they can live financially free, not to worry about spending money and concerned about, oh, damn, what's my balance, checking my balance and stuff. Some people would just be grateful to get to that level. But there's other people that also would want to be acknowledged. They want people to stop and, want to, ask them for a picture and autographs and stuff like that. And other people don't. And in this sport, boxing, one way that you can fall from that level of stardom is you can get your ass knocked out. If you get humiliated in a boxing ring, those autographs and those interviews and pictures might slow down a bit, because the last imprint on their brain might be you getting stretched and looking real goofy in a boxing ring. But the sport of boxing is also a good way for you to bounce back. You get back in the ring, you get a spectacular KO like Anthony Joshua got. Now everybody back on your meat, saying that you the best thing in the world. I was seeing all the attention Anthony Joshua was getting from just knocking out Jake Paul, who really ain't shit. He ain't, ain't proven to be the best guy in boxing or nothing, but he's just a YouTuber who decided to box. But AJ knocks him out. Now all the American chicks want him. Now all the sports platforms talking about him again, like he's the undisputed champ or some shit. And I'll stay consistent, like hey, he ain't did shit. And I wasn't celebrating him winning over Jake Paul at all. Because I think Anthony Joshua was on some little champ shit. I said that he should have ran the rematch back with Daniel Dubois for knocking him out like that. But you decided to go after Jake Paul, the YouTuber, and so that you can get all of the damn cheers and the fans loving you and walking with you and patting you on the back and all the girls flirting with you and all of that. You wanted all that attention back. So that's why you took the Jake Paul fight, in my opinion. No, what's good? Bruce Gas, what's good? Oh, no, see, I didn't see the explicit version, the body on the ground. No, I didn't see all of that. So, yeah, I looked up quite a few articles. I didn't see no footage. I didn't see anything about that, I just know they was pronounced dead on the scene, but, Anthony Joshua, hopefully he did not sign any contracts that will force him to give up people close to him or to do something that can compromise his afterlife or something, man. Because this is a very crazy society, man, we live in. A lot of people's doing all kind of dark things behind the scenes just to stay relevant, just to stay famous, And like I said, it's just a lust, man. I'm seeing a lust. Matter of fact, it was a lot of people on that card that I feel suffer from that. This whole lust for fame and the lust to be relevant. You got Alicia Baumgartner on that card. Of course, you had Jake Paul on that card. A lot of people, individuals that would pretty much do almost anything, for the cameras, and for attention. Seeing a lot of individuals on that type of time. And when you operate on that type of time, you would do anything. It becomes an addiction. I think this celebrity shit is an addiction to a lot of these people because, like I said, a lot of them come from nothing. Another example, Clarissa Shields. Y'all see how addicted she is to this fame shit? She got to be careful, man. Because, people like that who were kind of outcasted when they were young and didn't really get the love and the attention that they wanted. Once they get a little taste of fame, man, it's almost a wrap. You know, it's really hard for them individuals to stay humble, and they start doing all type of goofy stuff on camera, you know, just to stay viral, just to stay relevant, you know. And it just sucks, man. You know, like I say, I'm not saying that AJ mixed up into no dark shit, but it's just kind of crazy how the timing of when this happened, man. You know. So, and then in the article that I came across, the accident took place, they say, on one of the most dangerous roads out there in Nigeria. And I know you got to get to where you're getting to, but I'm saying to myself, like, damn, why would y'all take that road? There wasn't no other route. Ain't no other way for you to get to your destination. You are Anthony Joshua, you know? And that's the other thing, the price of fame, too, is just like, for example, I see a lot of these streamers, you know, they'll be streaming wherever they go, you know? That's, you know, when you want to draw that kind of attention to you, a lot of accidents can occur. You know, people be chasing after celebrities and shit. Cars streaming, you know, swerving off into traffic, being dangerous. You know, this celebrity shit is a beast, man. 100 people can see AJ, and they acting crazy. They running in the middle of the street while cars is driving. People risking their lives just to fucking get an autograph or get a picture. People are crazy, man. Losing their minds out here. Over some fame or for some bragging rights. Or just for the ability to say, hey, man, look, I ran across the street, risked my life to get a picture with AJ. What's up, Ulix? Yeah, he said, be careful promotions. Boxer says, Saturday before, a few hours posted on IG, this boy, Abdul Latif, his watch got stolen before the fatality. His watch got stolen, disgusting by those people. That's another thing, man. These people be bringing all this attention to themselves. Y'all got on jewelry and probably got stacks of money in the car, you know, in the limo or whatever y'all in. And you got all these people that don't have good intentions. Not a lot of these people got good intentions, man. I don't know what happened to when, you know, motherfuckers stopped trying to move low key. You know, people have abandoned that lifestyle of just moving low key, man, and not broadcasting it everywhere you go. And I don't know if that was the case with Anthony Joshua, but shit, man, get them tinted windows or some shit, man. Everybody don't need to know where you moving to. You know, I don't know how that accident occurred. I don't know if it was a bunch of people in the way or what, but, you know, some people be just doing a whole lot, doing the most for fame, man. You said it has some bogus Schaefer and security teams, and the SUV looks like from 1930. Crazy, man. Ulix said roads have bumps and holes in the roads, not fixed. Ulix said 90s, I think people would just floss what they had. Yeah, man, I've never been a fan of motherfuckers. Is just like, look, man, you know, and that's how you know these niggas ain't never been robbed before. I got robbed in high school. That woke me the hell up. And I wasn't even flossing. This was some broke ass nigga that followed me, man. Me and my twin bro and shit. You know? These two niggas had straps on them, man. We young and shit. And they say, yeah, man, give us that, man. We send you niggas go to the ATM. We send you niggas at the ATM. You know, give it up. Yeah, man. But yeah, nowadays, man, it's just dudes is just they're not even concealing their valuables. They put the valuables, everything, their whole paycheck, right on full display. You know, Raw Meat Promotions out here, man. So I encourage a lot of these individuals to move low key. You ain't got to broadcast everything you're doing and where you're going and all that. You know, that I show speed situation with the streamers, man. Somebody gonna fuck around and get really hurt. Watch what I tell you. You know, hopefully it's not him. But man, people be doing all kind of crazy, chaotic shit for fame or just to be around people who are famous. You know, and hey, I can go to so many different levels when it comes to this topic. You know, on the things that people do to stay on top. But I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that because I got experience. I've seen people who were affected by that. I'll be honest with you. My stepfather was sacrificed, man, by his brother. He was in the music industry, so I know what type of stuff goes on. You know, so I don't think it's just the music industry. I don't think it's just football. I don't think it's just basketball. I think shit is all kind of shit taking place in boxing too. You know, some of these people touch certain millions of dollars. You got to pay the ultimate price. You can't just be out here making $50 to $100 million, man, and you ain't gonna be nothing. There's gonna be some problems. Some people are gonna be approaching you, man. Because one thing about it is, some of these people don't give a fuck about the money. They care about your influence, and they willing to pay you for your influence to push their agendas. That's what a lot of people that end up being nowadays. You know, they think they the shit, but no, you just a pawn. They using you to push their products, they push their agendas and whatever else. And a lot of people is okay. They're obedient puppets, man. You know? And they're going to be obedient because they don't want to lose no sponsors and all that other shit, man. So it get tricky out here. It get really tricky. And when they know you a hoe, they'll threaten you. They'll threaten your family. All that. Once they know you scared, they got you. Yeah, he said juju, black magic stuff. Right, he said no more low-key promotion. Now everybody want to show their live location promotion. Yeah, man. That's why over the last few years, the murder rate has been increasing, you know, as far as like web murders, I would say, because people keep broadcasting. Oh, yeah, pull up there, pull up. You know, pull up on my op. That type shit. You know, and if that's your lifestyle, do that shit low key. Niggas will put in some work, shoot their op on live, and then get a live location. Show the street name and everything. That's how that shit go out here, man. That's how that shit go. So, yeah, stupid. A lot of stupidity, man. Betty Durant says phones are way too techy nowadays. Wow, man. Yeah, man. So, and then on another note, man, the heavyweight division. I mean, if that ain't a sign to y'all, man, heavyweight division is in the dark. It's in a sunken place, man. Heavyweight division is in a sunken place. I just don't like what I'm seeing lately, man. I didn't like this Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. I don't like that Usyk is pursuing Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder don't deserve no shot to fight for 3 world titles. I'm not hating on him, but come on, man. These are fights that are not meaningful for the sport. It's just a whole lot of circus shit going on, man. Usyk should be fighting Fabio Wardley. Deontay Wilder should be fighting, I don't know, another tune-up or something, because there's no fucking way he's ready for anybody at the top level, especially all the performances we've seen in this last fight, and all this inactivity and shit. You know, just a soap opera, man. You know, Deontay Wilder's going to podcasts venting about his chick taking all this money and his brother taking his money. Hey, man, it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, what about your career, your legacy, man? Like, people that's boxing fans, we don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man. You know, that's your business, man. That's your problem. You know, we was telling your ass to man up and fight AJ when he had those 3 belts. You and your big head ass manager, man. A lot of these dudes was just doing stupid shit, marinating and wasting time. You know, because they care more about fame. Deontay Wilder's another one. He cared more about fame than he do legacy. You know, but people are mad at Terrence Crawford. That man did what he needed to do and got out the way, man. You know what I'm saying? Much money as Anthony Joshua did made. You know good and well, man, you ain't gonna get your ass back at the top level of the heavyweight division. So get your ass out the way. You know? Shit. All the money and the success he's had, because it ain't like he had a shitty career. The dude had a great heavyweight career. You know? It's just his time is up. You know? Time came to an end. Same thing with Roy Jones. Roy Jones had a hell of a career. But when his time was up, his time was up. You know, Tyson too. A lot of these greats. You know. But yeah, Anthony Joshua, man. Maybe, you know, tell you, man, nature will let your ass know, man, put you in your place. Maybe you need to, you know, say for instance, example, man, and it's something very, very strange about a lot of these athletes in these car accidents. Errol Spence, you know, I don't know if AJ is on a dark path, but remember Errol Spence was on a dark path and he admitted it. And that accident got him on some act right. He tell you to this day, like, that accident woke me up and made me, you know, change some stuff. There's been a lot of tragic accidents following certain events, man. I remember, what was it? Canelo and Daniel Jacobs had a fight, and there was a flight from Mexico from Vegas going back to Mexico. It was 13 passengers, and that plane crashed. It was 13 of them died immediately after the fight. I'd just be like, damn, some of these events, man, people be getting murked. They just be dying, and you'd be like, yo, what the? But, yeah, strange stuff be taking place, man. But, you know, you got to be super cautious and careful when you're a celebrity, man, because they just cause so much chaos on the roads, man. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Hopefully somebody get this message to them, man. There's a time and a place for fans to get involved in your day-to-day activities, man. But when you're on the road where it's dangerous stuff like cars and, you know, it's in a dangerous environment, you know, use your good judgment, you know. They be out here they be thinking that they untouchable because they can pay for 8 or 9 bodyguards. Hey, man, they can get murked and you can get murked too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to stop you from nothing. You know, you can get in a car wreck. Your whole camp can get stampeded. Anything can happen. So it'd be crazy. It's crazy times, man. Yeah, bro. That's why I put that up there. That's why I put AJ face on there, man. Because just to give y'all something to think about, man. Because you can't tell me that shit probably don't take place in boxing. You mean tell me it happened, all of this, you know, sacrificing taking place in all these other sports, but they ain't taking place in boxing? I'm not saying AJ sacrificing nobody, but, you know, I wouldn't put it past it, man. You just never know what's going on out here. All those fights should have happened years ago. AJ versus Wilder, AJ versus Fury. Time to hang it up, the gloves, and focus more on himself. If the celebrity, time to stay low key. That's it, man. You ain't got nothing else to prove, bro. I don't be getting that. Why y'all, why do they still need so much approval and attention, man? I get it, a bunch of these YouTubers, these broke-ass YouTubers and shit. A lot of them got to put, go live, probably 24/7 just to get to the level, get a fraction of the success you got, AJ. To get their little monetization bread or whatnot. But, man, please, bro. You're on top of the world. Like, it should be a mystery, We should see you every now and then. But yeah, man, like, I mean, a lot of these athletes just got to move careful, be low key, be safe, and be safe in so many different aspects, man. You got to be safe all around the board, not just on the road, but just around the people you surround yourself with or people who you trust, man. Because there's some evil ass people that's willing to pay millions of dollars, man, for you to do some evil shit just to prove that you're loyal. Trust me, man. Some people out here that just will pay you millions of dollars, prove that you're loyal to me. Do this. Just like a gang initiation. That's all it is. You got to prove that you're loyal to us, man. Bend over and put in work, nigga. So I go out here. All famous people are on something, says Yuli X. Vinny Durant says, when you see millions, there are many chameleons. Pusha T. Yuli X says, it's some of it because of the family, extended family, fraternity. Yep, it's a lot of that. That's when they was really pressing my channel, my Black Hustle Promotions channel, when I was really digging it, into the fraternity organizations and people that was involved in things like that and the origin of it, where it come from. YouTube didn't like that shit. My Hollywood Chronicles series, they didn't like that shit at all. Because they'll allow a layer of truth, but when you start getting to certain layers of truth, they don't like that shit. But truth is truth, and truth is the new hate. It's a lot of fraternities out here, man. You can tell by the way they put up their little hand gestures in front of these pictures and cameras. You got to ask the questions, like, what does that mean? Then when you start researching, you be like, oh, okay. That's the same hand gesture that one person throw up. Are they all together? Oh, okay, so they're a group. So where did this origin come from? A lot of that shit is Greek. Right, Yuli X, no strikes is taken down. They like, nigga, strike out. You're out. Yeah, man. So yeah, even YouTube be discriminating sometimes, depending on what you put up. But yeah, man, I don't work for YouTube. I work for a whole different greater order than this shit. But unfortunately, a lot of them work for a lower order just to be able to get a few toys and fame, man. And it's a price for that. So just remember that, man. It's a price, man, for fortune and fame, depending on what level you want to go to. So condolences to the families of the ones that lost their lives in that car accident. They said one was a trainer, and I think the other one was a close friend. And it was just weird to me. Anthony Joshua didn't look like he had no marks on him, bro. The way that car looked and the way Anthony Joshua looked, I was saying to myself, there's no way he was in that car. But what do I know? Maybe he's touched by God. Maybe God got a hand on AJ. And that's why he didn't get a scratch or whatever. Maybe he had a broken bone. Maybe he's savage like Errol Spence. Only difference is AJ didn't bounce off concrete. So, fortunately for AJ, he had lesser injuries than Errol Spence. Errol had it rough. Anthony Joshua, you got lucky, man. You really got lucky. Because not only did you escape death, man, you escaped major injuries, man. But you know what AJ got to still live with? he still got to live with the memory and the reality of losing two people that was with him right before that was right with him, along the way throughout his journey and his career, and now they're gone. So I don't know if it's set in yet. I don't know, but that part is gonna take a lot longer to heal if AJ is truly a good person on the inside, and hopefully he is truly a good person on the inside. Because I tell you one thing, any person that does not have any kind of hurt about losing someone close to them, if there's someone like that, man, these people are lost, man. If you can't feel no kind of sympathy or hurt. But I'm sure that AJ, hopefully he's a good person, that he feels the loss and the pain that, from losing those individuals. Hopefully he'll give the support that's needed to the friends, the trainer and the friend that he lost, to support the families in this time of need. Tragic, man. Tragic. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward from here. Hopefully more information comes out. And like I said, hopefully AJ just stay away from cameras, stay away from interviews right now, man. Also, too, man, that's another athlete I forgot to bring up when I was thinking about these tragic accidents. Francis Ngannou killed somebody. Was that last year or earlier this year? It was a motorcycle accident. He hit a 17-year-old girl, and they said he was still there, and helped to get her to the hospital, but she died. She went into surgery and she died while she was in surgery, and he helped to pay the funeral costs and all of that stuff. But yeah, man, there's a lot of strange stuff taking place with these athletes and these accidents on the road and people losing their lives. They've been okay, but a lot of people around them in these accidents is losing their lives, man. So unfortunate. Two people, Benny Durant, he said, was he the only one? The driver walked away from the accident as well. Modern King, what's up, man? I've been live for about 30 minutes. About to jump off, but yeah, about 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm on the shadow ban league, man. So you might not get a notification, bro. So if y'all seeing this, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit the like button if you can. And if it's other content that you missed out on, that you may not got a notification on, just go through my list, man. Check out the live tab, the video tab, the shorts tab. I put up content every week, not as much as I used to, but I put up content like every week, like once or twice a week. Shadow band promotions. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Pound for pound shadow band league, man. Shadow band champ of the world, man. Yeah, man, True Media. Yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in for this one. For the ones catching the playback, thank you as well. Please hit the like button and leave your thoughts below, man, on this particular incident. You know what I mean? I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.